Hey guys, it's Paul Jang, and today we're going to be talking about text messaging to acquire properties. So here are my thoughts on it. I'm seeing just different land investors talking about text messaging as a viable way to pick up properties. So basically the idea would be you have a list of properties that you like, you found out the owner, and you are essentially skip tracing. There's different services out there. Just Google skip tracing services. You're going to upload the list, and they're going to give you phone numbers. Now, once you get the phone numbers, you can go ahead and you can message each person individually by name and say like, "Hey, Jack, I saw that you own this property. I got your, was just interested if you thought about selling it," and then kind of get into conversations with people. I've seen things that you could get between 10 to like 30 cents per lead. And this is a lot cheaper than sending out mailers in bulk. But you could also bulk text message stuff. But here are my thoughts with this. If you are trying to do this to skimp out on sending out mailers, I really don't think this should be your first step. I really believe that your first step, if you're not going to do like auctions or something like that, like your first step should be sending out direct mailers. It's the most time efficient way to do things. I don't recommend that you send out like interest letters where you're basically asking, "Hello, sir," or "Ma'am, I see you have this property. Are you interested in selling? If you are, call us back." I'm not talking about those. I'm saying straight blind offers. You know your numbers, and if they are willing to sell it at a certain price that you feel comfortable with, then you'll buy it. If not, then no. And that's kind of it, right? Like you're not haggling. You're not really negotiating it. We're gonna do this or we're not. And you just send out a lot of mail that at a certain point you'll get a certain response rate, and you'll close on them. So, I'm not saying this in terms of, so at least with the text messaging marketing stuff, I really don't think you should start there. It's not at least of what I've seen, it's not foundational yet. You really should focus on what other land investors have done and done well in just sending out a lot of mail and getting a direct response rate and figuring out your costs. One deal from that will pay for so many more thousands of mailer pieces that you could send out. So, send out the mailers because most of you, if we're gonna be honest about things, if you're watching this video, you're figuring out land investing tips. You're figuring out how to get better for your family, how to maybe get out of your job situation, and you really don't have time. And the benefit of the land investing business, it is not in how much money you can make. It is the fact that it could give you financial freedom. And it's the first step into getting other opportunities, other business opportunities, other things that you could do with your time, hobbies or personal living styles that you want to be a part of, or live in an RV or travel the world. That base level of financial freedom for 99% of the population, land investing gives you that opportunity because you can flip for cash or for owner financing and get passive income. But you don't want to spend, in my opinion, like, it's not so much about how much money you can make in the land investing business. The first step is figuring out, how do I get out of my job and I'm no longer trading my time for money. And when you do text messaging, yeah, it's cheaper, right, than sending out a mailer. But what you're doing is you are now having to respond, and after you do your job and you're working, you now have to respond to these people and negotiate with them to a point that is a lot cheaper than for most people, you'll feel comfortable doing. Like if I send out direct mailers to 1,000 people and I'm offering 25 cents on the dollar, your property's worth 10,000, but hello, sir, if you want to sell it for 2,500, I'd buy that from you. Getting that initial conversation, most people want retail prices, right? So you will have to spend an enormous amount of time just figuring out if they're interested in selling, and then selling it at a price that you want. That is just such a time waster. And there's better ways for you to spend your time, okay? So I think it's good if you are out of the job situation, right? You're no longer spending 40 hours working, and you have time to implement some kind of text messaging program. So you might find some other deals, but tried and true blind offer, send out mailers, send them out in bulk, and then get a response rate, start closing some deals. Really, you could just scale that. I would not touch text messaging until you get to a point where you could spend the time, or you are hiring that part of that business out. Okay, so those are my opinions on text messaging and skip tracing and all that. I am highly motivated to protect the time that I have, and I did not trade my job, the one that I had, for a new job, to maybe make a little bit more money, right? Like you need to guard your time and find leverage points that you could double or triple what you are investing, and whatever time that you have. So these are just my opinions. You do you. Like, I get it. Like sending like $700 for 1,000 mailers, $800 for mailers, when you could spend half of that, might seem enticing to you, but it's just, what is your time worth? That's really the question that you have to ask yourself. So that's it. Have a good one.